Okay, it started raining, so I couldn't finish my orchard and berry bed tours, but I'm going to look at my seedlings. I've had some slow growth and had a lot of issues. Finally starting to get a handle on it, but I don't know if you can see, I had a ton of fungus gnats to the point where I finally had to go and get sticky traps. Ugh. Oh my god, so disgusting. So anyways, finally getting a handle on that, but still have some. So I think between the fungus gnats and the aphids in here, that like all of my seedlings have just had a hard time. They've had a rough start to their lives, but in any event, these are all eggplants and I probably need to separate them. That's probably also not helping their particular situation. The pepper plants some of them are finally starting to grow. I started these in January, and that one little guy is a roselle. It also was kind of struggling. I can see by the, well, sort of the color of the leaves. There you go. But yeah, I'm fertilizing them, trying to, you know, keep them moist but not too wet. And I think for some of these, maybe I overwatered them at first. I don't know. Anyway, they've been a little slow. Between all of the things, I have had a rougher seedling start this year than normal. These are all peppers. Sorry, I'm not saying what they are. Different varieties: pimento, habanados. Oh, and those might actually be habaneros. Now that I say, I do have habaneros and habanadas. A couple of poblanos in the back there. These are all my tomatoes. I got a fair number of these, and I probably will give a few away. But I have Romas, San Marzanos. I got a black plum. That's a new variety this year. And I have black Krim. I like the purple tomatoes for color and for flavor. And green zebra. And then in the back here, these are some elderberry cuttings that I propagated that actually turned out okay. I have a bunch of different experiments. That's a apple cider vinegar trap, all these stupid fungus gnats that only worked a teeny bit, and then these sticky traps really do work, but man, are they gross. So anyway, bunching onions, cilantro that maybe needs some water. This was another experiment. Both looks like maybe one is unexpectedly happening. I got some pine berries, so look like reverse strawberries if you've ever had them. And I planted a little piece in there. And it looks like I'm getting some germination off the seeds, but then I also stuck in some rose cuttings to propagate, and they were doing okay, and then I think I overwatered them. So maybe something's gonna happen out of that. Anyway, lilac cuttings. These are a couple of them starting to catch there. Sweet potatoes, which are actually also from cuttings off the vine. This is another round of seeds. Different types of basil, some calendula, and then at the end there, those are all poppies. I am missing one whole segment. I didn't get quite enough. And then a lot of my flowers failed pretty early, so I tried to start some more, and not all of these are coming up, as you can see. Some are really slow to germinate, and some, I don't know, I might have to give up on. But anyways, tried to do columbine for the first time, and I did cold stratify them, but yeah, nothing's happening there. I got two varieties, no germination on either one. Pink celery. This is from Baker Creek, and some you can see the pink on a little bit more on the stem than others. Poblano, looks like it's got some dang aphids on it. Man, like I said, we've had the worst time, and I've been manually picking them off. I did also happen to find 3 ladybugs in my daughter's room, and I brought them down to help me out here, and they actually, I don't know if they just ate their way through them, but they just kind of died back, and now of course they're getting going again. This is a purple pepper, pimentos, alyssum, one little side alyssum left. I think I probably need to water these boys again. Tomatoes, and some I don't know if these are just, that's probably too close to the light maybe. But it looks like a different green altogether than its friends. So I don't know why that one's sadder, but it is. Onions back there. This is, I believe, a micro dwarf tomato that a friend gave me in a hydroponic system. So I was trying to convert it to soil because I don't have a hydroponic system. But you can see it's full of little tiny tomatoes, and it hasn't dropped any of its flowers, so I guess it's okay doing this outside of being apparently too close to a light. We'll transition that outside at some point. Some red mustard. That is, I believe, more celery. Oh no, that might be parsley actually. I should have labeled it and I didn't. Spinach, I just separated these out yesterday, and some chard. And then, top row, I'm too short to even see what I'm talking about here. These are dahlias that I overwintered, and I'm trying to, just started watering them. I'm gonna try and get them started. These are all more winter things that are gonna go outside soon. Celery, cabbages. I think mostly these are cabbages. It's red cabbage there in the back. I think I might have like a cauliflower or something in there too. And then these are parsley, artichoke. Let's see. These are more dahlia tubers that actually broke off, and I don't think there's enough material, but I was trying to give them a sporting chance, see if they would do anything. And there's some blueberry cuttings in the back. I want to show you all my sticky traps full of dead bugs. So awesome. But yeah, those are starting to go, and I probably need to try and take the cover off them. I think I'm finally getting the hang of that method of propagation. But part of the problem was, I think that I let the covers stay on for too long, and so it would just get damp, but I couldn't immediately take them off either. So I think that the issue is I just put a little, as you can see, like a Ziploc type bag on it, and then I need to open the bag to let it dry out some and then take it off. So a little more gradual progression there. Some bulbs that I got from the Dollar Tree, and probably need to water them. That one looks a little pinky, but ranunculus in particular. I got an anemone, freesia, and tritolea, I think is that one was called. Anyway, and then another sweet potato. And then for all of the peppers that I overwintered, that hopefully we'll get back in the yard soon. These guys, again, had terrible time with aphids, and so they got killed way back. And then just getting the moisture rate also has been hard, so learning how to overwinter things has been challenging. But I have gotten a few peppers off of them over the course of winter, not a ton. See my neem roll, that was attempting to get rid of the dang aphids. But these are, and of course I've lost my tags. I don't know how I had them all labeled. I'm sure I would thought, oh, I'll remember what these are, but that's definitely an Ashe County pimento. And I believe at least one of these guys is, and the other two are paprika peppers. Partly because some of these I'd never put in the ground. I didn't pull them out of the ground. They were just in my greenhouse. And I believe, and those are the ones I started late last year. I'll probably have to look and see. And then other overwintered things, because my entire laundry room was taken up with plants. I've already started to move some out. But that is a bay laurel, which is an incredibly tough little plant. All my other plants have suffered somewhat from my either overlove or neglect. Inconsistency, I guess is the word, but it's doing fine. And this is my lime tree that just got done blooming and has a fair amount of fruit on it. Maybe too much fruit for it, we will see. But I have to start hardening those up. I also have two lemon trees that are in very sad shape in my living room. They actually had been fine, and then I think I may have overwatered them and then moved them because they were in the way, and then they all lost most of their leaves, so I had to cut them way back, and then they're finally starting to come back. But like these poor citrus trees, I've just had a rough go with them. This was also in my greenhouse. Is some spinach growing there, and some, oh, I got a little friend on my radish plant here. I don't know who that is. And yeah, more radishes that just went straight to seed. Never tried to make a radish. Like these little guys, they haven't started to flower yet, but you can kind of see there's not much happening there. And I think those were black Spanish radishes. Looks like a black root there. And then sweet potato that I've overwintered, this big pumpkin pot, and these are the ones I took cuttings off of just to see if that was a valid propagation method. So we'll see. And then a quick update on my indoor babies. Everybody looks happy. Begonia never came back, so I'm going to say that bargain basement sad plant, I just gave it hospice care. This begonia, quite happy, and actually took a cutting off of it. I think you're supposed to do these with root cuttings, and I just cut a leaf off and stuck it in some water. And it took a really long time, but it's grown a lot of roots. I haven't tried to transplant it yet, so I guess we'll see if that works. My wild little succulent collection here, like that one just is literally trying to escape its pot. And these are gingers. I think I probably need to feed. They were doing fine, and then they got all sad, but maybe because they're close to the door, maybe it's also cold damage. I don't know. Growing ginger inside, not sure about. Not sure about in general. A very happy aloe plant that maybe needs a bigger pot soon. These little guys that my friend sent me a cutting of like 3 years ago, and they're just doing their thing, just happy as they can be. Although, oh, looks like that one. Okay, so I don't know if it's still trucking along, but you can see that's very dead. But the bottom part is still alive, so I guess maybe I'll just roll it back and stick that in. We'll see. Another aloe plant back there. Tiny little cuttings from my succulents. And I have a little gnome that fell over in there. And then I'll show you one more because it's fun. And then that little guy. And they've done just fine. The end.